to me, one of your most iconic, movies is White Man Can't Jump. And you were just talking about Denzel. Can you go into that a little bit about, because that's information I don't think anybody's ever known. You said he was up for that part?
He wasn't up for it. It was written for him.
Okay.
When it came to me, we were playing basketball at Fairfax High School, which we did every weekend there in LA. Fairfax is, it's known for all the balls going there. So I'm playing with Denzel every weekend. So we lost one of the games. So we're sitting down, and he goes, a script came through the pipe. And I said, what? He says, I'm gonna do it with, with iced tea. And I said, oh, okay. He said, but you want to come and play a little bit? I was like, yeah, as long as I get some scenes with you or something. He goes, yeah, we'll figure something out. So while I'm in this movie for like 1 or 2 days with him and Ice-T, Denzel comes into my trailer, gives me a big old trailer, and I hadn't done anything. He like gives me a big old, I'm in a trailer like a star. I'm like, he comes in, he goes, how you like your room? I was like, I love it. And he said, well, another script came through the pipe called White Men Can't Jump. I was like, I hope that's a comedy. He goes, yeah, it is. And he said they wrote it for me. He said they wrote it for me, but I ain't doing White Man Can't Do Nothing. I'm playing Malcolm X. I said, you playing Malcolm X? Oh, wow. He goes, yeah. So he said, but you. He said, you. It's perfect for you. I said, really? He said, I already told the director about you. I said, you did? He said, yeah, you got a meeting on Monday at 2 o'clock, whatever. I was like, wow. He said, you'll get a script today. It should be at your house. I was like, they're going to send a script to me. I've always gone to get 2 or 3 pages, never the whole script. You didn't get the whole script. So I was like excited just because 20th Century Fox was sending me a script. I was like, I still have it, by the way. The outside thing of it says, anyway. So I read it and I thought, this is my movie. This is my movie. He's right. He said, no, it's yours. He set up a meeting with me and Ron Shelton. Now, I didn't know I had been playing basketball against Ron Shelton at the Hollywood Y for a year.
Mm.
He was just some 45-year-old white guy that had game. Everybody goes, there's Ron. Yeah, there's Ron. I didn't know he wrote and directed Bull Durham, which is one of the best movies in the world. But he was the Kevin Costner character in that movie, by the way. So, but anyway, I just knew it was Ron. So when I walked in the audition and Ron Shelton's sitting there and 20th Century Fox executives were all lined up in this room, I'm like, well, we got enough to play a game, I think. They started laughing. And I wasn't, I was like, and then I look at Ron, I was like, he does look familiar, but I didn't get it, that he was the same guy I had been playing. And he knew I didn't know. And so he says, we got somebody coming in to read with you. I was like, oh, okay. Who walks in? Tom Cruise. Top Gun was the number 1 movie in the world at that point. Made like $1 billion or whatever it was. Tom walked in with all his fresh Nike stuff on, right? It wasn't even out yet. I was like, where'd you get those shoes? I was like, how did I get them? So halfway through the audition, we're standing there reading, and I just threw the script down, and I just went off and, ad-libbed and stuff, and Tom was just sitting there going, and stopped. Everybody, it just stopped. And he looks at Ron, he goes, I can't really play that well. And I'm going, because White Man Can't Jump. I thought he was ad-libbing. I was like, because White Man Can't Jump, fool. I was just, and he goes, no, I really can't. I said, I don't want to hear that. And I really thought he was at it, but he didn't. Next, we went out to play basketball. He couldn't really play exactly like we wanted him to play. The next day, Ron Shelton calls me, says, we got somebody else coming in. I was like, who? He says, I'll tell you when you get here. Keanu Reeves. I'm reading with Keanu Reeves now. Now, my picture is on what they call first position because they wanted to hire that character first. I hadn't heard of a person named Wesley Snipes. Nobody had, but they had only my picture up there. So Denzel's calling me every day. It's yours, baby. It's yours. You got this. You got this. It's yours. It's yours. I'm like, they're the biggest stars in the world reading with me. So I figured I do. They're auditioning, Next thing you know, Ron Shelton takes me to dinner. He says, I'm going to have to go to Chicago and meet with John Cusack. He can open a movie. I said, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. He said, they won't go with you unless I get a big white name. Nobody knows who you are. He said, and Fox doesn't want to spend $30 million on somebody they don't know. And he said, he said, they won't listen to me. He said, but I'm going to find somebody to partner you with. He goes, he meets John Cusack, has lunch. They go outside to play basketball. John Cusack's throwing the ball over the goal. He said, okay, I've seen enough. He comes back. Cusack can't play. I said, so what are we going to do? He goes, well, we are going to hire Wesley Snipes. I was like, who's that? He goes, well, he's in a movie called New Jack City right now that's doing a lot of money, making a lot of money for Fox. He's got a deal with Fox. And that's who they want me to go with. I said, well, for what role? He says, for Sydney. I was like, oh. And I'm thinking, well, that's Hollywood. That's how it works, you know? And he goes, no, I'm going to rewrite the script. Okay? He said, I'm going to make you a security guard. You're going to get the same money as if you were the star of the movie. He said, because this is ridiculous. It should be your film. And they know that, but this is what I'm dealing with from a studio position. So I learned at that point how the hierarchy in Hollywood works. So when Wesley got it, he came to me and he said, I know what happened, man. He said, but you'll be in my position one day. Don't worry about that. I'm like, okay. But we're friends. Everybody on that set, we're friends. Woody and I became more close, I think, than I was with the other guys. And Marcus, me and Marcus are friends. It was just it changed my life.
Right.
The #1 movie in the world at one point.
Right.
All over Japan, every country. It was, and I had never known what that was like until I traveled and went to another country. You know, you go to Africa and the pilots say, quoting your line, like the president, you know, doing that. He was like, "Oh, white man don't jump." I was like, "Yeah, hey, how you?" I said, "You know me?" He goes, "Oh, go back to SeaWorld." I was like, "Wow, good gracious!" So I came home. I was like, "Mom, they know me in Africa." She goes, "Well, hey, you know, settle down."